Hello, we're just going to be making some little fancy cakes today for the dolls. Hope you'll come and join us. If you'd like to join my dolls on their adventures, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. So today we're just going to make those little fancies. So what I've got is a little ball of white. I've just flattened out a very small piece of white which has got a bit of pink on it for the icing. I've made a tiny ball out of red, and I've got some pink which I'm going to use for the base. I've conditioned all this clay so it's all nice and soft and ready to go. I've got my pastels. I don't know if you can see them, can you? Let's have a look. So I've got my pastels and I'm going to be using those. I've got my knife which I will use to help me scrape the pastels, and I've got some glitter which I'm going to use, and I'm also going to use some liquid Fimo, although you don't need to use this, but I'm going to use this to give it a sugary coating on it. So to start off with, and the other thing we need is a needle. I've just grabbed a big needle because it was one which was just there handy, but you can use any needle. So we'll start off with our cupcake base, and all you need to do is get your piece of clay, and I'm just going to roll it like that so you get like a sausage shape, and I'm going to push it down so it goes more into a cylinder. And now what you want to do is just roll that so you've got less on the bottom than you have on the top, so you're getting a sort of like the bottom. You want it to look like the bottom of a cupcake, so you're sort of getting more. This is smaller around the bottom here, and then just roll that in your fingers like that. Okay, so you get a nice smooth base, and you want to get it so it's just sort of standing up nicely. And I'm going to bring this up as close as I can to the camera so you can see what I'm going to do next. I'm going to take my needle and I'm just going to push it onto my piece of clay. See? I'm just going to work all the way around, giving a nice indentation on that piece of clay. It's quite hard to do it whilst I'm holding the piece up. Let's see if I can do it. I don't know if you can still see that. Let's see. So I've got hold of the piece of clay which I'm pushing down, and then I'm pushing in with my needle, and I'm just going to go all the way around, and then you can push it back into the position once you've got your nice indentation there. So I'm happy with that, but what I'm going to just very carefully do so that I don't damage any of those indentations is just roll it very slightly, so you've still got your indentations, but you're just getting it back into that shape you wanted it to be in. Okay, so I've got that all done, and as you can see you've got your indentations going all the way around. You'll probably be able to do it better because you can do it on the flat surface whilst it's sat down like that. The next thing I did was I made my ball, my white clay into a ball shape, and what I want to do is I want to sort of push in with my fingers so that I'm getting a bit of a sort of hollow in the middle of that bottom of the ball. So it's sort of like, so I've got this, the tops are looking quite nice and round and still ball sort of shape. When you get round to the other side, you sort of want to make it a hollow, because what you want it to do is come just over the top of your base, because a cupcake sort of almost sort of leaks almost over the top of the case. Right, that's a little bit too much. I can squeeze that back in a little bit. Just get it how you want it to be. Okay, you can push the top down as well if you think that that's not quite sitting on. That's better. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to pick that up and just go around it. Now if you want to, you might find it easier to get some more little lines in and put them in now with your needle now, because I found that when I was doing it, I found it was easier when I sort of had it in my hand to do it the first time. And you could sort of work in between the lines you've got and just put in the little indentations where you want them to be. Going around, so you might find that is easier to do it like that. Okay. think that looks better. And then just push it down and get it straight. Okay, like so. And I don't worry too much about the colour of your clay. If your clay gets a bit dirty, all you need to do now is take one of your pastels. Now, if you don't want to do this, you can just have it plain. You could use this type of colour, like a cake type colour first, with your clay, and not have to worry about doing any colours on it. It's entirely up to you. You could say, right, I'm going to do a pink one and have a pink one and scrape the pink one down, but I'm going to go for sort of cake colour. So I'm just going to go with this one and scrape down a few bits. So I'm going to pick it up very carefully and I'm going to roll it in it. Now usually I would put this on with my finger. That's it. There we go. And I'm just going to roll it over and then just dust it over like that, because I want to get quite a bit of this on there. Make sure you go around those bottom pieces as well. I want to get it on that bottom bit there. Okay, and get a nice covering on that of that colour. And you can touch it up with anything in your finger, because I did want it to be quite sort of browny, cupcakey type of colour on that one. And then I'm going to go for the slightly darker one. I think I went for that one, which is just slightly darker than that one. And I'm just going to put a few bits on there. And I'm just going to put that on there. You could do this with a paintbrush, but I'm just going to pick it up very carefully and just put a few bits around the edge. I don't want it to go on all over, because I want it to look like it's sort of speckly. That's it there, so that's good. That's good. That's like a speckle more. It's not sort of a big coat of it. Okay, put that back down, push it down a bit. And if you find after you've done that that you've lost a few of your indentations, you can just come back with your needle and just go over again and put a few more indentations in. I think I was a bit rough with it when I was putting the clay bits on. There we go. So I'm popping that down there and get it nice and stood up so that that base is nice and flat on there. That's it. Okay. Right. So that's that piece. And I'm going to take a little bit of the liquid clay and I'm going to just pop it on the top here. Just a tiny bit. Alright, I'll just hold that other piece in place and I'm going to put that on. Now usually you'd have to wash your hands before you pick up white clay, but because I'm going to colour this pink, it won't matter. Alright, so I'm just going to pop that on top. There we go. Okay, and I want to just colour it in just a tiny bit pink on the top there, so I'm going to just take that there and get some pink off. And there we are. Pick that up with my finger and I'm just going to dab that on the top of there, because I want it just to look just a little bit more pinky. That's it. I'm just going to give that a little blow to get any loose bits off. Right, and then I'm going to take my liquid clay and I'm just going to go and I'm going to very slowly just come off with not too much clay, not too much, you don't want to put too much on. I'm just going to sit it over the top of where I'm putting this. And if you see, if it looks as if it's going to start to drip, just pull it back over like that. Alright, and you should get a nice covering on it. Arwen is very interested. I don't know if you can see Arwen there, can you? There she is. Hello, Arwen. She's very interested in what's going on. Yeah, there. Oops. Let me see that, okay. And then I've got some glitter, very, very fine glitter. You see how that's a very fine glitter. I'm just going to spread that all across the top. And that should stay on there okay because it's got that liquid clay on it. And I'm just going to get my little cherry, pop that on the top. A tiny bit of clay, liquid clay, just the tiniest bit. That's just enough. And pop that in the centre. just want to come off my finger. There you go. And what I'm going to just do then as well is I'm going to just take my needle and pop the little bit where the cherry is, where you get that little indentation on the cherry. And that looks quite nice, and hopefully you can see that now. It's looking quite nice. So I just pop that in now, and I will bake that at the time it says on the pack, and then that's finished. I hope you enjoyed it, and that will be it finished. There we are. I've got 2 there. We're all ready to go into the oven. So I did that one with a little bit of white, and this one's a little bit more pink. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to pop them in the oven now and cook them off, and you can put a coat of varnish on these when they're done if you want to, but they should be absolutely fine just like that, and they shouldn't come apart or anything. I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.